What's going on, guys? It's your boy George. Welcome again. Welcome back to another episode of the George Baidoo podcast. I hope you guys are all doing great out there. Today is April 23rd, 2022. It's a Saturday from where I'm at. Um, I hope you guys out there are doing well, phenomenal. I hope you guys had a great week, productive week. I hope you guys took time to, take care of your mental health and you actually took the time to do something that you uh, enjoy doing. So I hope that this brings you good vibes, good energy, and yeah, just positivity. Today, I want to talk about. Um, well, first things first. Let me recap uh, my week. This week was pretty chill. I'm gearing up for a big exam for tomorrow. So definitely been focusing on that a lot, and um, yeah, getting closer, one step closer to my dreams. So this week has been, as far as the personal side, it's been very, very chill, relaxing. I had a good week, and I can't really complain. I can't complain at all. I just hope, excuse me, I hope that things continue to get better. But no, this week was really good. Um, I didn't put too much pressure on myself, at least in terms of unhealthy pressure on myself to force anything. I did the things I needed to do, take care of responsibilities, stuff like that. And then, of course, uh, I didn't force anything. I just kind of went with the flow, if that makes sense. So that's something that I'm learning how to do is just not forcing things and, you know, letting things I can't control slide. The things you can't control, know how to effectively and uh, effectively move with those things. So yeah, just learning how to relax more and yeah, just you know keeping it moving. So today looks like it's gonna be another short pod. Um, I'm gonna be focusing on like two topics. One, learning as you go, um, and two, like legacy. Like, what your legacy to be? I know a lot of people who are like my age, millennials in their 20s, don't really think much about legacy for a number of reasons. But yeah, those are the topics that I want to talk about. The first one again, learning as you go, and two, legacy. Um, yeah, one. So we're gonna start with learning as you go. I think one thing that I've learned this past, not just these 2 years, but like as I've gotten older, I've realized that you know most of the learning that you're gonna do in the real world is gonna be outside of the classroom. So whether that's high school classroom or college classroom or whatever type of classroom, like majority of the learning you're gonna do is through and from life. From learning how to deal with your emotions, learning how to deal with other people, learning about finances. There's a whole list of things, and what I found out was what I've been finding out was that life is going to teach you its lessons. Like I've heard you, I think you guys probably heard the saying, Mother Nature rules all, Mother Nature always wins. That is a 1,000% true. Like majority of the learning that I did in college, honestly, like majority of it doesn't even translate to like what society and the real world is going to teach you. And I realized that the best way to learn is just to dive into things. Like you're not you can only learn so much from a book. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, educating yourself, to be a well-rounded person is the best thing that anyone can do. I don't care who you are, what religion, creed, etc., etc. I don't care what you are. But reading books is great, yes. But I believe that reading books and going out to the real world and experiencing things is where most of the growing and actual learning, educating, that's where the most of it is going to take place. You're going to learn most of your stuff from life experiences and things of that nature. And what I realized that is I learn more by experimenting. Even if I'm taking L's, I learn more about myself, what I like, what I don't like, just from being immersed in whatever it is I'm doing. Like for example, this podcast. 6 months ago, I didn't even think about doing something like this because I thought it was out of my reach. It was scary, showing yourself to the world through audio and video. Was it something that I was like, I'm not sure it's for me. Oh, you need expensive equipment, which you don't. If you have a computer or any device that can record with these apps today, you're pretty much good, like right out the box. But in general, like I've noticed that I learn more when I just put my best foot forward and just taking a leap of faith and going in. Today, with all the resources that we have from YouTube to Coursera to all these different learning platforms, I'm sure there's other websites out there that I haven't mentioned. But with YouTube alone, you can learn anything and learn at your own pace. And I realized that overall, as a person, that's how I learn the best. Like sticking by the rules and really, really trying to go one step at a time. A lot of times it doesn't even work. You know what I mean? Like if you want to go and start a podcast or a TV show, some might think, okay, you have to go and get all these manuscripts. You have to go and watch. You need expensive equipment. You have to go and watch a million hours of professional, you know, courses. When in actuality, all you need is a passion, a drive for it, internet, a computer, or a phone, and you're good. You might not even need internet if you have a phone and like for example, if you have an iPhone, you can use the built-in memos app with the phone, or you can go in the app store and download uh, recording apps that will record your audio. And depending on which type you have, there's some that like Riverside, for example. Riverside will allow you to record your audio and video and get that in a form in such a way that it will allow you to be able to take the option or get the option of splitting the audio and video, and then boom, there you go. You have a podcast. It might not be perfect cinema quality 4K multi-angle cameras type situation, but at least with that, you're good to go to get set up. And then from there, as you learn to get comfortable behind the microphone and the camera, things will eventually flow. That's how I learned, and I've been learning. And I realized that it's not gonna be perfect. Even this, I think I'm probably rambling right now, and I apologize. But again, I have a passion for this. I like doing this. I'm getting more comfortable speaking to into the camera, to the masses, and I feel like that concept can be applied to anything else in life. Like learning as you go, I believe takes the burden and the pressure off of you, and it allows you to be more creative and explore like a side of you that you never thought you had. You know, and getting uncomfortable and really really Uh, yeah, just because just being a better version of yourself. And I've heard this a lot recently. Is that never stop learning. The day you stop learning is the day that you're dead. And the more you learn, the more you could potentially earn. And again, like I said, the best type of learning is done outside the classroom. It's done when you put your best foot forward. It's done when uh, you're not willing to take no for an answer. And I believe if more people understood this concept, um, including myself, because I'm not perfect, if more people included in knew this concept and continue to adopt this philosophy or whatever you want to call it into their lives, it could make a whole lot of positive changes in outlook in themselves and the people that they value. And yeah, it's great. It's great learning how to be creative. I'm having a blast with this. I wish I can do this 24/7, but it is what it is. And just enjoying the process. Um, like I said, if you want to learn anything today, you can go on YouTube, you can go on any other website, and if you're dedicated enough and you're persistent enough, you will find the information. And as long as you execute on that information, that's the point. That's the most important thing. I think for a lot of people, they immediately like cut themselves off from learning and expanding themselves because they got bad advice from naysayers or negative people, people who did not accomplish enough in their life, and they want to put that negative energy out there. I think for a lot of people, they cut themselves off because they believe that um, I'm not smart enough, or I don't have all the tools, or um, you know, this is not for me, or I need to have a such and such degree from such and such prestigious um, college when that's not the case. I mean, look at what people are doing nowadays, especially the youth, specifically the Gen Zs, like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. People are going viral for a whole list of things. Some of them is kind of questionable, but when I see people do some really really creative stuff with their talents, from artwork to maybe they like to cook and they're showing their recipes online with this cool effects and voiceovers. If it's them playing an instrument, you know what I mean? And some of these people are monetized on these platforms. So I think it's great. And you don't need schooling for any of those things. Like they learned as they went. And then as time went on, they gained traction. And as long as you're consistent with that, um, you'll be good. So yeah, I hope that I didn't ramble too much, but um, that's a topic that's been on my head. Again, learning as you go. I'm a living, breathing example of that, and that's what I've been doing. And honestly, it's uncomfortable learning as you go because you're constantly worried about how people are going to look at you and judge you. But good or bad, people are always going to have something to say. And honestly, I can say that me going through the process of focusing more on being consistent in every aspect of my life and continuing to innovate and learn has slowly but surely been had a positive effect on my health, my mental health, and my life in general. You know, I love being able to being exposed to new things and having my the neurons in my brain constantly firing it off. So it's definitely not an easy process, but it's something that I believe if people allow it themselves to be exposed to that, um, they will slowly but surely have a much better look on life and things of that nature. So yeah, again, learning as you go is the best form of learning. Learn and then continue to adapt. And at least you got that experience at the end of the day. And the type of doors and relationships that you can open for yourselves and for other people just from you doing that is endless. So yep, yep, that's topic number one. Moving on to topic number two, and that is legacy. Again, like I said in the beginning of the pod, um, a lot of people, especially people who are my age group, the 20s and even the 30s, is that they don't think much, or at least from what I see, we don't think much about legacy. Like, what do you want to leave behind? We're all gonna die one day, unfortunately, and we don't know when that time is gonna come. So while you're here on Earth, like, what are you doing with your time? Are you doing things that are gonna lead you towards your goals and something you're gonna be proud of, or at least trying to get to that, trying to meet those goals and hit those benchmarks in life? Are you treating people with respect? What are you leaving behind for your family or your kids if you have kids? Like, if you were to pass away today, tomorrow, next week, next month, 6 months, how would you want to be remembered? You know, and I think that also ties back into like what I see today with social media and how people are um, just leaving. You know, when I see someone doing something for the gram or for clout chasing, it's like, eh, do you want people to remember you for this one little thing that you're doing for attention, or do you want to put out positivity and promoting good values and standards, because those things stand they stand longer in time. You know, like, I look at musicians, right, and you look at people, the artists who are putting positive substance into their music and passion. Look how long their careers last compared to the gimmicky artists. Like, for example, with hip hop, my favorite artists is Tupac, Kendrick, J. Cole, Lupe Fiasco, just to name a few. There's more, but those are the main ones that I listen to on rotation more often. Look at these artists and then look at the newer generation rappers, right? The sound is different, the messaging is different, um, the beat production is different, which again, there's nothing wrong with like differences, but I look at a lot the Tupacs, the J. Cole's, the Kendrick Lamar's. I look at those artists versus the newer artists, and you know, look at Tupac. Tupac has been gone, rest in peace, for over 20 years, but his music still attests time. Like, people still listen to his music, including myself. Like, when you turn on Tupac, you sometimes think that he's still here, and then you forget, yo, this man has been gone for 20 plus years, but his music is so timeless. And considering how young he was and how he was just getting started with music and acting, and 25 years old, he already had like over 10 albums. He's been in like four movies at the age 25. That's insane. I'm 27 and I'm like, yo, what am I doing? But yeah, look at those artists. Look at the type of passion and music that they put, the storytelling they put into the art, versus the newer artists who, they come in on a one hit and then they're gone for so long, and then before you know it, unfortunately, they're either incarcerated or, you know, 6 feet under. There's no disrespect, but it's just what it is. You know who's gonna be a legacy act and who's just gonna be here for a short period of time. And to tie it back into, regular everyday people, like what are you doing that's gonna make you proud of yourself? Or what is it, if you were to go away tomorrow, what do you want people to remember you for? That's the question. If you were to go away today, tomorrow, next week, 6 months, a year, what do you want your friends and family to remember you for? What would you want the world to remember you for? And I think that's where a lot of people should really take the time, even if it's 5 minutes, take the time to sit back and think, like, hey, if my days are numbered, like when I look back, will I be happy with what I've done so far, regardless of age, or will I have regrets? That's something that I'm striving for. I think I mentioned that before. Like my whole focus from here on out is this legacy, legacy, legacy. Am I doing all the things that's gonna put me in the right positions overall? Is am I doing things that's gonna, or am I doing things that's gonna bring pain, headache, regret to myself and my family? And if the answer is yes, yeah, am I doing things that are destructive? Then I need to move away from it. I need to be able to recognize that and say, okay, you know what I'm doing is out of line and out of value. What are some things I can do to bring more joy, and what is something I can build upon my legacy and yeah, and be proud of. So that's the thing I want to leave you guys with today. Um, never stop learning. Never stop learning. Be open to new ideas. And and with learning like this, the endless resources you can find on YouTube and even social media to a certain extent. But you got to be careful with that. Um, there's so many things you can learn. Never stop learning. To my fellow young folks, please, please, please. I know it's not the coolest or most flashiest thing, but please take time to learn new skills. You know, never stop learning, because the moment you stop learning is the moment you die. And um, you don't want to be obviously dead, because there's some people walking around who, and mentally they're dead, but physically they're still alive. And when you see stuff like that, it is scary. So, yes, to my people out there, please never stop learning, never stop growing, never stop learning about different cultures, and you know, never stop learning, and continue to add to your legacy each and every day, because we never know when we're gonna go. Never stop learning, keep growing, and the world is a scary but amazing place. And the more you learn, the more you can earn, the more happy you will be, the less stress that you will have. As long as you keep learning and keep growing and continue to pour into other people, um, you will thrive and you will do well, and your legacy will be amazing. So, with that being said, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Make sure that you're doing something each and every day that's going to lead you to a better and prosperous future. Do something that your future self will be proud of. Do something that your kids, if you have kids, will be proud of. Do something that your family will be proud of. And at the end of the day, that's what all you can do. Be your best self, build a good legacy, and never stop learning. Okay, guys. Till next week, peace.